Microphone check. Um, mm, calls, dude. How's it going? How's it going?
Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Okay, now I can hear you. Hello? I think.
Yep. You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear
Nice,
you.
nice.
How are you?
Um, so how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just finished my uni forever, done and dusted.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So got my grade like last week.
Nice,
So I can rest from coding for a bit.
nice. For a bit, pretty soon you're gonna do that more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a job in September, so I have
Not bad.
some free time until then.
That's pretty cool. What's the job?
Yeah. Vulnerability researcher. So it's a cybersecurity field basically.
Okay, cool, cool. So,
But yeah.
let's see, can you remind me of what we worked on last session?
So I think our first session we just went through getting the foundations, and you looked at some of my gameplay, and we went through the fact that I think smoothness was a problem, tracking and stuff.
Okay.
So we done a bit of that. I noticed like some problems. I've been doing the coax routines
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Um, so yeah, I recorded all of them here,
Mm-hmm.
and
All right.
so I've been doing them,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been getting like really good at them. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem with me, I think, is I have like some inherent problems when like the way I aim in Valorant.
Yeah.
Um, so which one? Yeah. So let's say like I'm like right next to their head, but not on their head. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like you see this image here
Mm-hmm.
on the right. It's not that this type of exercise where it's like micro correction, but it's kind of far. But like pixel, like literally just one slight movement, and you're back on their head. Like I'm really bad at doing that. I just click. I don't know. My brain just doesn't recognize. I have to just move a tiny bit to the left or right.
Are you sure you have to
Um,
move a tiny bit to the left or right?
I mean,
Be
like I do my microwave correction, and I'm like right next to their head, like I don't know, like this,
Let me
like I
put
don't
it
know,
like
like
this, like a lot of times with Valorant guns, they won't be completely accurate. So if you can't
yeah.
tell that if you're off target, there's a chance that you are on target. Unless you're sure
Oh,
otherwise, right?
yeah.
Is it
No, no.
possible that you're on target and just missing because guns aren't accurate?
No. It's like I can see my crosshair not on their head, but
Okay.
I'm like my brain is like I'm so close, but I just click. Like my brain just decides to click. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like a really bad habit for me.
Okay.
I watched a bunch of my recordings, and sometimes I see it. It's just like because my crosshair is like so small, I kind of know when I'm on their head. Like
Do you have any videos you can show me of this?
like hope. Let's
These are all
see.
Kovacs.
Uh, yeah. I haven't been recording my games lately as much.
No worries. Just need one example.
Um, uh, I have no idea what game this is, but I'm just looking at it when I'm about to die, and then just is it this? I don't have no idea. Okay, that's
Replay that,
just
replay
the.
that. I was looking down for a second.
I don't know if this is it. I have no idea which game this is from. I think
No
this is from
worries.
time ago. I mean, that's just ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Uh, Let me just do it like this. It's better. Uh, do you see that?
All right, I
The
did see
here.
it, but replay it slower and like full screen it so I can see it better. Because I just want to see how close you are.
Like I'm not on his head, but I just decide to shoot.
Did you
Let
though?
me even
Hold on,
slow it.
replay this. So the first one, right? Shh. Play it frame by frame. Very slow. So
Oh shit! Sorry.
no worries, no worries. We're gonna have to. It's gonna
Uh,
be a minute
like
before we
this.
get back there.
Wait.
Yeah, increase the speed till we're up till rain, and then just start spam decreasing the speed. All right, watch this. That's good. Pause. Shot one. Your crosshair was right
Oh,
there, probably two head
yeah.
lengths away from the head. Not exactly head length. That's roughly the raw mouse control closer bots difference. All right,
Yep.
continue it. You strafe. You correct the strafe. Your crosshair falls. You land on the head, and then you end up taking. Okay, pause that one. So you landed on the head. You went a bit
I didn't even
below the
realize I
head,
landed on the head.
cut right.
Yeah.
I think that might have had more to do. Hold up. I forget if this is just Siege or Valorant and Siege, but when the gun resets, does it go down? Does the crosshair move down with it? Up and down with it?
Yeah. It like
Okay,
goes
yeah.
up and down.
Yeah, so
That's
I think
why.
that might have just been you overcompensating for the gun's recoil a bit,
Right.
where you kind of saw yourself on head and clicked, but didn't realize that the crosshair was still moving down, and that's
Yeah.
why that might have happened, and then continue playing it. And then right there, I see how you're to the side of the head. The third one, I guess you
Yeah.
could
Just
say is
like
the issue, but there's probably
that's
also an
what I
aspect
mean.
of panic shooting.
Yeah. That this happens way too often. I feel like I like
All right,
90% of
we
sometimes
can
it's just I don't know.
we can
I
work
don't know
on
if it's a
stuff that'll
habit.
fix that. Don't worry. Basically, what I usually
Um.
do when I see people struggling with really bringing themselves to make the very small, precise motions is I put them in a very small, precise tracking scenario, like some of the ones I had you show me the ones that show me your playlist again.
Yeah.
Is centering one your only tracking scenario?
Yeah, the 40% smaller, I'm pretty sure. That's let me just load
Let
up
me see what you have for
Codex again.
tracking scenarios.
Oh yeah, Codex like lags differently when I have Val in the background. Let's
No
see.
worries.
It might have to close up Val. Uh, yeah, I can't click shit. Okay, give me 1 second. I need to close Val. Boom, boom. Shinseo. This one.
All right. So let's see. We got centering one, 180, 40% thinner. Play that for me real quick.
This one.
Yep.
Do you want to turn my cam on?
No, no, it's not needed. We're looking at technique right now, not. All right, nice. So what you'll notice is mechanically, you're you'll spend a lot. You're one kind of shaky on the scenario, right? I'm sure you're able to see that. And there will
Yeah.
also be a lot of time where you're right behind the bot. You just stay behind the bot for a period of time, trailing it, and now you're kind of instead not trailing it, but like passing over it and all those things. Now I'm talking to you. But basically, what you want to work on is just constantly getting yourself back on the bot when you're trailing. You don't have to be unsmooth with it or anything, but you don't want to be constantly trailing and shaking so much because what that does is it kind of forces you to make those small adjustments that you're struggling with in game. Let me see a Valorant deathmatch so I can just get a grasp of what the other stuff you might be struggling with in game is, and then we'll
Yeah.
get on to work on this.
Yeah, that micro thing is just a small problem. There was like other problems where
Yeah.
like
We'll look at all of
yeah.
those. I just want to see a deathmatch to see if I can get my own personal.
Yeah, let's see. You know the thing where you have a problem with like a PC or anything, and then you show a friend, and then boom, it fixes, and
Mm-hmm.
then you don't show anyone, and boom, the problem's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. So you gotta give me your complaints list.
Sorry.
So you gotta give me your list of problems so that like I mean, so that like because it might not be there in the deathmatch since someone else is
Yeah,
watching. Yeah.
I don't know. I just because normally when sessions happen, I need to like formulate what like all the points I need to say before, or I just forget.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm not sure if you can say it off the top of your head or if you need to actually look at it, but do you remember what the other things on that list were?
I can just copy and paste them to you quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. I was hoping that after the first issue you went on, that the rest of them would basically be what you wrote there. The only one that threw me off a or I guess there's two of those points I would say stand out a little bit. The first one is the panic shooting, where they shoot and you shoot as a response. I just it's just don't do that. The second one would be the
It's
inability to separate a flick and a micro adjustment. That's not really a bad thing. You don't have to flick micro. It's just easier to teach the
right. It's
concepts.
just I do it in one go, and then I reflick. Like it's like a for loop of flicks. I don't like. I can't build on top of a flick. I don't know how to say. I don't know.
Okay,
That's such a,
I think what so what you're saying is you do your flick and you miss,
and then
and
I
then you
just
do another
reflick.
smaller flick
uh,
because of that.
it's like the way I aim is like I want like flick and then make sure I'm on their head and then flick and then recorrect. I flick shoot and if I'm not on their head I recorrect. Do you get what I mean? Like my first initial flick is like I don't know if I'm like gonna hit them. I'm like 80% sure I might hit them, and then I try to flick from that. Like I used that as a pivot to flick again. I don't know if that made any sense.
I wouldn't say you're 80% sure because the initial flicks in this deathmatch have not been 80% landing. But I
Oh
see what
yeah,
you're
less
trying
than
to
that.
say.
Yeah, yeah.
It's closer to probably like 10%. But no, that's
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
thing
So,
because what's it called? That would be a good thing because basically everyone tries to land their initial flick, right?
yep.
Some people are at a high enough level where they know whether or not it'll land at a certain pace or whatever, and some people don't know where it'll land, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't know where it's going to land at the pace you're aiming in game, which is honestly the vast, vast majority of people, then not clicking after you finish the flick would be kind of stupid where you have 25 bullets and you only need one of them to
Yeah.
kill. Like, you land the flick, you click, you either get a good flick or it doesn't matter, you just fix it and get on their head. That's not really an issue. Um,
And sometimes when I flick and I'm kind of close to the head, because like I know like kind of where the flick will land. It's
yeah, you
not
know
like precise.
roughly where to land, but it's like
Yeah. It's
whether or
if
not
it
it'll
if
be on target, you wouldn't be doing what you were doing if you knew where 100% of your flicks would land if they were on target or not. You know what I mean?
yeah, and when I'm like, let's say I flop the first flick, but I'm right next to their head, my brain just spasms out, and I don't know what to do.
Yep. Yep, that's
Because
that's
if it's
part
like
of that's basically we got one main thing and two
yep,
tiny things. That was one of the tiny things since you pointed that out. I want to talk about that. The other thing is clicking after they shoot as a response when I am close to their head but not on it. So that sounds like panicking. That sounds
yeah,
like you're just like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And you're just praying for the RNG gods of Valorant to give you
yeah,
a headshot when that only works if you're playing against a pro or a streamer, as everyone knows. Um, so yeah, unless you got some guy who's gonna rage after you get like your crosshair off target and still hit the headshot, then you're not gonna get the shot.
yeah.
So,
It's more like I spent so long trying to aim at their head, and I haven't shot any bullets, and they
yep,
have like shot 4 bullets, and I'm
yep,
like, what the fuck am I doing?
yep. So don't do that.
Uh,
But
like
you
that.
got
You
one
see, I
thing
was
that's
yeah,
really the main thing that I was kind of building up to. And
yep,
just about every issue in your gameplay, from like these like inaccurate multiple micros to the many missed targets, can be pretty much summed up in this. And just
right.
that roughly half the time you're not really pushing yourself forward, right?
What does that mean?
So your crosshair, right?
Yeah,
You're aiming with it, you might be trailing someone, you might be going too smooth, you might start panicking, or whatever it might be. You're not
yeah,
forcing your crosshair onto their head. You're not they're off to the side. You're not forcing your crosshair onto their head to get it off from next to them and onto them. You're they're moving. You're not forcing your crosshair to speed up to get onto them, right? Last session
right.
we worked on smoothness, so I was kind of expecting to have something to the effect of this when we came into this one because that's
Okay.
usually what people start to develop an issue with after a lot of smoothness work. So
Uh huh.
open up for me Kovacs again.
Can I close this?
Yeah, we're done with
Okay.
Valorant.
I mean, and the effect compounds when like I do the like sometimes I actually think, oh yeah, I need to be on their head. I move onto their head, and then they move like they just physically use the A and D keys, and then I have to do the whole thing
Hmm.
again.
So let's go back to local playlists. Local playlists.
Oh, local. Oh, sorry. I so local, and then I
So we're
go
gonna start with
local.
a few of your. We're gonna start with a few of your scenarios. Oh, geez,
Right.
what was the Wait, Mythical NZ has benchmarks? Let's see this. Thin Gauntlet, Control Sphere, Smooth Sphere, PGTI, Pasu, B180, Pokeball. Keep going. B360T, Reflex Flick. What are these? Are there
Yeah,
like,
I
is
have
there
no
like a
idea.
spreadsheet with score targets too?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
remember I showed you that Word document with the mythical stuff.
Yeah.
So he basically based off the stuff I had to do like 2 to 3 hours
Geez, I'm gonna have to talk to him
every
about
day.
what is this tonight.
Oh really?
All right, let me see your
Uh,
playlist,
my playlist.
the one I made.
This one. Oh, the one you made. Yeah, yeah.
This would be your second session, or did you get one on Metafy too?
No, this is all of mine are from Gamer Coach.
Okay, cool, cool. That's what I thought. Let's see. Let's see the Pasu Small. I think that'll be the most exaggerated of the issue we want to work on.
Okay.
Play it. Wait, what's your high score in this scenario?
Um, 31.
Really?
Yeah.
You're right now on pace for like a 4.
Oh yeah. Have you seen my stats? It's like I'll get 29 and then I'll get like an 11 after.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It's
okay, so it's not consistent at all. Let's see. Go by, select by week. Click the week. Where it says week. Top
week.
right. Okay.
Yeah. This first week I wasn't used to the way you should supposed to play it, and then I kind of got used to it.
And you haven't changed since. That's cool. Alright, hit done.
Yeah. Sure.
And keep playing.
Okay.
Alright. What? 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 Okay. So what happened between the first time we played that and the second time we played that?
I have no idea. I don't know. Sometimes I just if I start getting, I don't know. It's like I have to like I don't know. I didn't change my mindset. It was just the same. I was like try to follow it and click it when you see it, and yeah. I don't know when I start getting. Maybe if I clicked it like the first time, I have a good run. That's why like when I if I like miss just the first one, I just like refresh it until I get the first one, and then I can just go off from there. But I have no idea, mate.
Okay.
Maybe I wasn't like prepared. Normally, like in these type of scenarios, I just like the first two are just like a dud, just to warm myself up back to the mentality of this one, this exercise. That made any sense.
No. So I let me put it like this. What we had this run and the previous run were two completely different players, right?
Yeah.
The first run, we had a very shaky, uncoordinated, like, and also kind of tracking person, right?
Yeah.
This one, you were much slower, but much smoother, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Maybe it's just I just got used to the scenario after just seeing it for a few seconds again.
I, I, I don't know if that's it, to be honest with you. I think it's a lot more likely that, I mean, that's part of it, yes, but I'm just trying to think for a minute. So the way I see it, the two runs were completely different technically, right? The
Yeah.
technique on each run was different. That makes sense? So what you got
Yeah.
to do, but there's got to be some similarity, obviously, if you can't even tell what the difference was other than one was good, one was bad, right?
Yeah.
Because you're the player. So the way I see it is, um, you on this one, you might have been more dialed in or something, but geez, I lost my train of thought a minute. Um, so the way I see it, I think you just somehow managed to make yourself more focused on being a bit smoother, and the consistency is that your mental approach, right? You say you follow the target and then get on
I'm
it,
not
right?
gonna lie. You see all the high scores I get. I thought in those runs I'm doing worse, and all the ones I'm like kind of
That's
getting low.
actually
I
a
thought,
that's actually a
yeah,
very good sign that you're a lot more focused, right? When you feel like you're doing bad, usually that's when you feel like you're doing bad, but you end up with a high score. That's usually because you're so focused on your errors and mistakes. And that actually kind of completes the little mental puzzle for me. Thank you. So basically,
uh,
you're more able to be focused when you're hitting a high score run. That makes sense. And when you're more able to be focused, you're more able to concentrate on your technique and all those things and do it better, right?
I'm more like the more I think of randomness, like I'll be like thinking about like something like, oh, I need to do this work that is due deadline, and I'll be just doing it while thinking about it, and then oh shit, I'm supposed to focus, and then it's like I got a high score. Wait, what?
Really?
That makes no sense. And then
Okay.
okay, let me beat this high score, and let me focus, try to hit them on the dot. Boom, I get like the low score. It just and then it goes back up like, oh, I don't
No,
care anymore, and then it goes back up
I know
again.
that's the opposite of what I said, but that honestly also makes sense too. Because a lot of times people just panic because they're too focused, right? Like
Yeah,
focus is kind of something that you need a middle ground for, if that makes sense, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely failed the prediction there, which I don't like doing. But yeah, focus is something you need a middle ground for. So what I'm gonna say is happening is when you are very focused, you just start panicking, and that's why those scores are lower, right?
Mhm.
So what you need to work on. Okay, no, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. So
It's just
when you're not focused, you end up going very smooth and slowly, which was the flaw in this run. I think I've already said that, right?
yeah, but the problem
And
is
in
right
the focused runs, you go a lot faster, right? But you lose some of that smoothness, and that's why you end up shaky and at a lower score.
when I focus on like for example row like if I focus on this I get a high score. But
Yep.
if I have the same mentality that I had here, I just flop. I'm just too slow. I
I
won't
think
get
it's
enough
because
points.
you're too fast and you click too much when you're not focused, right? When you are focused. When you weren't focused, right? You were
Yeah,
going very smooth, very steady, remember?
exactly. And
When
that's the
you
problem.
weren't focused, you started trying to push speed, it became uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and all those things when you were focused, and that caused some shakes. So, what we need to do is try and combine the two techniques, right?
I don't know how.
That's going to be a difficult thing. We're going to try that. We might have to go to the large pass, but let's try it in small pass. So, what I want you to do is one, I want you to start out with just going very smooth, very slow, very slowly approaching the bot, right? Just to kind of
Yeah.
calibrate your smoothness, and then try and make each movement faster, right? The first bot, you can even track it for all I care. Just make sure you hit it and go slow and steady. Second bot, a bit faster, bit faster, bit faster, and then by the end of the run, you should be not flicking, but accelerating hard enough that it's pretty difficult for you to play, all right?
Okay. Right. I will try to do that.
So very
Test.
slow, very steady.
Right.
Once you miss one, just get off it. All right, so
I
when you're
didn't
within
know
the,
that
so you were
was.
focused that run,
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't like super focused. I was like let my arm move, but like look at
but
each
you
dot
were like
peaceful.
focused on the actual run. Like you might not have been like, you're not when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying
yeah.
focused, you're not trying to like micromanage your arm
I
movements,
wasn't
are
like
you?
trying to manually move my fingers. I was like
Is that what you
look at the
do on the
ball.
runs that do really bad?
No, no,
Okay,
I
good,
never
good,
do
good.
that. Like I
No,
never
that's
do
good,
that.
that's
I
good.
just realized I'm too shit to do that. I'm just let my unconscious
No,
person
no,
just
that's good.
do it to
That's
me.
what you're supposed to do. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do we want to do now? We want you to. So when you're within like two or three bot lengths of the bot, you lose all your speed, you lose your acceleration, you just kind of track it, right? There's a period of
Okay,
track. It's like a
right.
smooth flick to get close to the bot, a period of tracking, and then a smooth acceleration onto the bot for the kill, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I need
I
to
want
know
to
like
end
what
that
I'm like
period of tracking. I
playing.
want you to end that period of tracking and go straight to the
Right.
bot.
Okay, right.
Be okay with misses. This is going to be a low score run. How long do you train per day?
Every day for 30 minutes, but that
30 minutes.
30 minutes goes to 1 hour. I'm not gonna lie.
How?
Because every time I finish a round, I just sit there for like 20 seconds,
Oh,
just think
okay.
about what I did wrong, and
Oh,
like
no, that's good. That's good. If you're willing to do that, that's good. There,
so it
that's a
just doubles
lot
my
better.
time.
Perfect. Perfect. Best
I
run
can
yet.
do this really well in like in this one. Like what do you explain?
Yep, that
I
would
don't
make
need to like
sense. That
track.
would make sense that you're better at the easier version.
Yeah, but this one I just need to like I lose myself when I try to go to another bot, and then
Mm-hmm.
I just like I need to like oh where am I and where is the bot? Okay, now I
Yep.
can like smoothly go to it. I can't get like my sense of ground. That's I think that's a problem. That's the same with like Val. If I like try to flick and like I try to do like in a crazy way, I just lose. I have no idea where anything is
Yep.
for a second, and then I get my composure back again.
Mm. Try to. All right. Go to online scenarios.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Online
Online scenarios.
scenarios.
1 wall 6 target small.
This one.
Fifth one down. One, two, three, four,
Yeah.
five. Flick like you do in Valorant, where you go fast,
Okay.
lose everything, all those things. Flick a bit
That's
slower while trying to focus on landing micros immediately after the flick.
wait, let me think about that. Okay. Yeah. So like this and like this. Oh my.
Try to push yourself to.
Slower?
No. Push yourself to start the micros as soon as possible. That's a good
Oh.
speed or even. All right, you did spend the first 5 seconds of the run just trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
especially for the second half, your flicks were very choppy, right? You were still
yeah.
doing the thing. You were still doing what you do in
Uh,
game. You were just doing it slower, right?
uh,
So what
yeah.
I want you to try is try that again, but really focus on the part where you make the micros happen right after the flick, if that makes sense. Like really focus on pushing the speed on the micros and not having your flicks be so choppy where it's like up down all around. Like
So like do this and then slow,
not
like this and then
slow, but like not it doesn't the speed isn't relevant. What's relevant is the choppiness. Like you're
so not like this.
you're it looks like you're only able to move in like X and Y inputs one at a time, and they're also very inaccurate, like Minecraft Steve. Reset it so we can see
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
how the run would actually go. Okay,
Am I doing it right or is it
no.
more choppy? Oh,
It's now you're
slow.
just going super slow, waving around the map. Like I don't
Right.
even know what you're trying to do at this point. But
I don't know. I'm trying to say not choppy in my brain. That's all I'm trying to do.
I
Okay.
will I will give it to you. They have been here. Watch my stream.
Yeah.
I will give it to you. One thing they have been is relatively smooth, but they were also extremely slow, extremely inefficient. Basically,
Yeah,
everything
it's
good.
that's my problem. It's like if I start thinking about stuff like that in like Val, it's so slow that I just die before I even get to their head or near the body.
Mm-hmm. So, hold on 1 second. All right, let me put on my arm sleeve.
Should I get an arm sleeve? Is that like a thing?
I like it. It makes it
Oh, okay.
easier to glide across the mouse pad by a little bit.
Okay, okay.
Ugh. Intuition. One wall, 6 targets small. Play the scenario. What sense is this? That's good enough. All right, so this won't be the best demonstration as this is something I'm personally working on too. But basically what you see here is this is you, right? In slow motion.
Yeah.
But actually not that slow motion. That's you in the last few runs, right?
Yeah.
You're always doing these weird arches with it. I don't really know where you got that idea from. You're
I
going
see.
super slow, super smooth, super steady with all the movements, right?
Yeah.
It makes I think that's just because you're panicking, not really sure what to do. So this was you
Yeah.
before doing your Valorant aim again in slow motion. Super fast. Land next to the target. Got on it. Right? It was always super
Yeah. Yeah.
choppy, inefficient adjustments,
Oh, like
super
that. That's what you
fast
meant.
flicks,
Okay.
right? A little bit of a shake because you can't control it and you need a stopping power and you don't have stopping power. And then it'd be a super fast micro, 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 and then you'd land on it and kill it, right?
Okay, that's what you meant. Right. I get what you mean by
That's what you're
choppy.
doing wrong. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But when you were talking about choppy, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
almost looks
yeah.
like it
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
like
okay.
looks like
I'm not
like a
expert with my microflex. I'm doing it a bunch
yeah.
of times. Yeah.
So
Okay.
super straight, all those things, right?
Okay. I think I
So
get it.
if that makes sense, what else needs to come of this? Hold on a second.
Yep.
So basically, what you need to do is to
Mm-hmm.
do a flick that's maybe slightly slower than your in-game one, and then just transition it into the micro.
Oh, so it's like one smooth
Not
thing.
one smooth, but like the micro and the flick are more connected. They don't need to feel so separated, right?
Disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's I'm not doing it great, but you get the because like
I think I get it.
variety
Yeah.
of reasons, but you get the point, I
Right.
think.
So if I try that.
All right, let's see it.
That.
Still a bit slow on the initial flicks, but you're definitely getting a lot closer.
Right, but the transition to the micro flick, is that right?
It
Or
was
am I doing
better.
it?
It was better. Here,
Okay.
play it one more time. Let's try this. Okay, that's a bit yup.
Just when I go fast, I just lose myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
Are
just
you losing
trusting
yourself
myself.
now?
Kind of like when I stop, I need to like give it a second to know like what I need to do
Yep.
this. Like, do I need to like I don't know what to
So,
do in order to correct my mistake.
mm-hmm,
Or if even if I'm on the target, I need to like give it a second. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Do you think at all about where your micro adjustment should go?
Yeah, like if it's like here, my body just says pull down. I'm not saying like
Think
manually
less
go down.
about the micro adjustments, like even where they should go, and just try and do it just without thinking about it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Just flick and then micro adjust before you even know where you're micro adjusting to.
Okay. Right. Okay.
That's fine because we were talking for half that.
Yeah.
Actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Score wasn't good, but it looked pretty decent.
Yeah,
It
I
looked
didn't
like you
know.
were still
Yeah, I didn't.
struggling a bit, but like you were getting better with it.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. Let me just think for a minute and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, take your time.
Look at the screen. Look back.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second. I'm just
Oh,
I lose my train of thought from time to time. So
no worries.
basically, remember how in the death match I say all your stuff is just pretty much one issue other than those two small, somewhat game specific issues?
Yep.
Then remember how in the dynamic I said that you gotta get, and I said that that issue can pretty much be summed up as push yourself, right?
Push myself. Right.
And are you native English speaker?
Yeah, yeah. I only know English.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't tell. I sometimes get thrown off. Sometimes people won't even have accents and I'll just think they do, or like maybe it's just another part of the country or
No,
slightly different
I live
English.
in the UK.
Yep, that
Yeah.
explains it. That explains it. Um, what we're Oh yeah, so basically what I was saying is in the dynamic, you gotta push yourself, go faster to get back on the target, right? In the static, it's the same case. In this scenario, you did pretty bad with the score. That wasn't because you were bad, that was because you were kind of pushing yourself and trusting your micros. And, well, they didn't prove that they are worth being trusted, but that's fine because you just got to practice this more and trust them more, right?
Right. So
So,
you just trust your micro. You don't actually try to think, oh, okay, I'm off this. I'm like right next to the
yeah, you don't
head.
want to think
Because
I'm
sometimes,
3 pixels up, 3 pixels down, like 7 pixels. Got to move at a right angle of this
nah,
hypotenuse, and then all of
yeah,
a
yeah.
sudden you
It's
got to
because
like write a
every time I
whole.
micro adjust, I always end up right next to the head for no reason, and
Yeah,
that's sort of yeah.
that's part of pushing yourself as well, right? If you're right next to their
Yeah.
head, you'll feel like that like resistance in your hand, not being able to make that small of motion, right?
Yeah.
That's part of pushing yourself as well, just pushing past that little resistance. But there's
Mhm.
also just the concept of forcing yourself to move to the target, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah. And there'll be times where we're in a fight, and okay, let's say I'm right next to their head and I missed. Then
Mm-hmm.
like the next step of me, okay, now I just need to go left, like just like a bit left. Yeah, my body
Mm-hmm.
will not do anything and just keep clicking the same
Mm-hmm.
spot like without moving. I don't know. Yeah, those are the
That's part of
things.
trusting your micros, like a bit of a conscious, unconscious disconnect where you can't make the motion unconsciously by forcing yourself to move. So that's part of pushing yourself. So it done
Right.
for me.
Okay. So yeah, sure.
Cool, cool. Let's see. Um, last thing I want to do is search up Pasu micro track.
It's the one word.
No, 3 word. Top one. Play it.
Mm. Wait. Oh. Oh,
All right,
it's a
pause it.
holding one. Oh. Okay.
Pause it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So see how hard it is to get really close to the bot,
Yeah.
how you feel like you're struggling,
Uh-huh.
how it feels the
Similar.
same as being next to someone's head in game.
Kind of. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. I can imagine that. Yeah.
So basically, what we need to work on here is being smooth, and in order to be smooth, you need to be kind of faster with getting back on the target, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
what you're gonna do, you're gonna replay this and you're gonna beat my score. Go.
Right. Okay.
I think you will be able to beat it based on your
Oh,
centering.
do I just hold down?
Yep, yep.
Oh,
Tracking
the
center.
thing doesn't die. Okay, I was
Yeah,
so
restart,
confused.
restart it. Sorry, sorry, I
Okay.
forgot to mention it was a tracking scenario. There you go. Just be steady and
I
smooth.
generally thought this was clicking like the passive one.
Sorry about that. I should have made that
No
clear. That
worries. It's all
partially
good.
explains why you were so flicky with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to use my fingers a lot more. I've been
Yeah,
trying to
that's
use
what
my
the
fingers
micro
since our
track
last
does.
session. Before I never used it at all. I don't think I beat your score, bro.
No, but
You're
I give
right
it like
there.
2 days before you do. I was catching up on Cartoon and then I DM'd him. I was like, yo, how much would you get if you actually tried at this scenario? And then he went, played it, and like got the world record by 200 points. He was in like
Yeah,
fifth
it's
place when he
insane.
did it the first time.
I see. Why do these have so like low entries? Is it like some like low key ones?
Well, Kovacs itself is a low key game, right?
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
So then the people who play it, a lot of them play Tile Frenzy. They play their stream. A lot of people buy it because they see a content creator play it, and
Mm-hmm.
then they want to play that content creator's playlist, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So they
yeah,
play
yeah.
that content creator's playlist, and they don't go down digging for the 20,000 scenarios. I did the math out. If you played every Kovacs scenario, I think it would take something like, hold on, let me redo it. Um, it would take like 16 days of nonstop Kovacs to be able to play every scenario.
Damn.
So, and like that's just for one try per scenario.
Right. Aren't a lot of scenarios also like slight deviations from another scenario? Like,
Yep,
right. Okay.
that happens a lot of the time because someone will just like want 40% slower. Like I just made a scenario the other day that was
40. Yeah.
I just made the bot 30% slower so I could focus on edge tracking it, re-uploaded it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's like constantly people are making scenarios, and then my most played scenario that I've uploaded has like 50,000 entries on it, and it's just a easier version of someone else's scenario. It's just a bigger bot. And then my second most
I
played is the
see.
same scenario but hard.
Yeah, that's yeah, mad.
Yeah,
Just tweaking it for your own like use in it.
exactly. So this scenario, it's super simple. I actually didn't even know it existed until Cartoon showed it to me like a week ago. Um,
Oh, nice.
I really enjoy it for this issue though. It works a lot better than other scenarios I've used in the past. Like
Right.
that'll probably
Okay.
give a few of them to you, like extra control sphere and stuff, because it's
Uh-huh.
smaller, more. It doesn't work a lot better than extra control sphere, though it has more horizontalness than control sphere bots do. Which
Okay.
so I like
Got
it.
it.
Um,
Nice, nice.
so yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna update your playlist. It's gonna
Right.
let's go to local playlists. I'm actually not even gonna make a new one. I'm just gonna edit it and then re-upload it.
Yeah, sure.
So what I'm gonna do I'm gonna take the scenarios that you have 6 runs on down to 3. I'm gonna delete the normal size Pasu, and now we're at 15 minutes. So the second half of your scenario will be new stuff. Your playlist will be new stuff. We'll do
Okay.
1 wall 6 target small for 3. 1 wall 4TS. 1 wall 4 targets small Pokeball, 30% smaller. 1 wall 4 targets Pokeball normal. 5 sphere hip fire small. Let's go extra small because you need to work on. So that's 4 static scenarios. Cool. Those all help with the micro thing. We're gonna let's throw in some OCH clicks. These will play like Pasu, right?
Okay.
OCH click headshot. Is there no bodies? 30% smaller, sure. Why not? And then what was another scenario I wanted in here? Oh, right. Pasu micro track. Easy. Extra control sphere 1. And then extra control sphere 25% slower. So that brings us to a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. 15 scenarios. Each one will be 2 reps of per scenario.
Right. Okay.
This will be a much more entertaining playlist than the previous one because the previous one
Yeah.
we had you on, I want to say,
6.
6 scenarios for 30 minutes.
Yeah. It
That's
was
pretty
I
boring.
shuffled it, so it wasn't that bad. So
Yeah.
shuffle it. Yeah,
This
shuffling
one
is nice, I feel.
you can still shuffle it,
Right.
but you'll get no more than each scenario will be played twice, which will be a lot more
Yeah.
entertaining.
Uh-huh. I'll
So
probably have to like restart a bit, like if I don't feel like I'm focused. Like that
why?
small one where I had like 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't worry about restarting.
Oh,
Just
okay.
keep yourself focused the whole time,
Yeah.
but don't worry too much about restarting because it's 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 a ugly trap to fall down and people just spend way too much time restarting. Static.
Yeah, yeah.
Be fast, but focus on connecting flicks and micros with confidence and not just spamming. Spamming. Um,
So I should trust my microflicks instead of trying to
yes,
manually
trust
use
your
them.
micro flicks. Don't overanalyze them.
Right. So if it just flops, I'll just keep doing it and just hope that
Mm,
time will fix it.
hmm. If it's flopping consistently, I'd imagine you're doing something wrong, right?
Like what if I'm like flopping in a way where I'm just hitting like right next to the bot all the time? What should I do then? Should I just keep going at it?
You should, again, it's not mindless, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're still observing whether or not it hit. You're still very focused on the result, right?
I'm just not manually taking control like
You're
full
just
on.
not manually forcing anything. And
Yeah.
also, if it keeps landing next to the bot, just force yourself to make that small movement, like push past that uncomfort in your hand and all that stuff, and get
Yeah.
onto the target.
So like now and then a bit of manual is calm.
Yeah, it's
Calming.
like,
Okay.
where am I going with this? You want to, by trusting your micros, you should be increasing your pace and pushing yourself closer to the bot, right?
Right.
Not the other way around. Like trusting your micros is another way to say like don't wait to react and like overthink about the micros. But
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think. It doesn't mean necessarily that you mindlessly spam click at the same time. Is that making sense?
I understand. I
All right,
understand.
cool.
I need to make sure my flicks are fast, so
Yeah,
not
flick
slow.
should be fast. Like don't go to the super slow arches like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
but focus on connecting the flicks and micros with confidence and not just spamming.
Right.
In
Okay.
dynamic, push yourself closer to the bots. Tracking, push yourself closer to the bots without flicking or shaking.
Is dynamic the one I just did? The new one I just
Dynamic would
did?
be any scenario where the bot is moving and it's
Oh,
not and it has limited health. So or
okay, right.
a
So it
clicking
goes
scenario.
away.
Any scenario that you
Yeah.
click on the bot, like Pasu, OCH click, Pure G
Right.
horizontal clicking Valorant, those are all dynamic. Tracking is
Uh-huh.
when the bot is moving
No,
and it has a high amount of
intense
health
HP.
and your goal
Yeah.
is to stay on it for an extended period of time. Static is when you're flicking between still targets that don't move and you just click on them. And then
Right.
switching would be, in this case, you only have static switching, which also kind of applies, would be the Pokeball scenario. If you
Okay.
refresh your playlist, or if you go to online playlists and look at your playlist there, click it. The server version's updated. Maybe you gotta refresh that. There we go. Yep. If you go to the bottom of that, scroll up three,
Oh, one,
up a
two,
little.
three.
Look for the Pokeball. Yeah, Pokeball. Yeah, click on that. Play that. You gotta hold down to shoot the entire time. The
Oh,
bots.
like this.
Yeah, it's that would be like considered switching, right? Target switching, TS for short,
Right.
in a lot of communities. Um, just ways to categorize different types of scenarios.
Right. Okay.
And then like there's like subcategories of all those and it just gets complicated.
Yeah,
It's
I get the point.
yeah.
So it's so mine should be updated, or do I have to delete this and re-update, like re-download it?
Um, I honestly don't know. I think since you
Delete
have,
it.
I really, yeah, maybe delete that and then re-download. Yep, there you go, there you go. Download.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sweet. Thank you.
No problem.
So it's just so in terms of like will you be like available, like let's say 1, 2, 3, and then I have to go to Canada for 10 days. Like around mid-August will you be available, or are you busy then?
Mid-August, mid-August, I think so, yeah. Mid-August,
Okay.
yeah. Um, if you see another plateau like you did in the Pasu, shoot me a DM before then, and I'll do like a quick VOD for free just to look at something so that you don't plateau again.
Yeah. Oh,
But
like and I'm just not getting better. Okay.
yeah, like remember how your
Yeah.
Pasus were plateauing because you weren't pushing yourself enough?
Yeah,
Once I
yeah.
saw that, I probably could have fixed that through a couple DMs, though this session was good because it kind of let me encompass all the different issues you're facing into one issue, which I kind of enjoyed doing.
That's sweet. Hopefully, like by doing this for like I don't know, another like 4 weeks, I can
Yeah,
try to get better.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If I could speak clearly without losing track of what I'm saying and all those things without a video script, then it would have sounded really cool, like a cool revelation, but it kind of canceled out because when I don't have a video script, I can't speak clearly.
It's fine, man. You already you explained everything in a really neat way.
Yeah.
So I think I got it. I'll see how
Nice.
I do now, and if I plateau, as you said, like I'll give it like a week or 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then if I'm still plateauing, I'll just shoot you a DM,
Yeah,
and then we can
exactly.
see
If you
where
feel
we
like
are.
there's something bothering you, like you can shoot me a DM and yeah. Why not?
Perfect, man.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot for your
Can I
time.
get the share
Appreciate
code
it.
for Mythical NZ benchmarks?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Thanks. All right, we'll talk.
Okay,
All
thanks.
right, bye. Have a
Let
good
me
one.
just yeah, in a bit, in a bit.
See you. Hey chat, any questions? Let's see. Hello there. West, are you going to Dallas, buddy? I will not be attending Dallas. You have to be good at aiming to do Dallas. I just talk a lot. He panics. Yeah, that was me really trying to figure out what was going on there. That's what I like about aim coaching. It's almost like a critical thinking skill. And you got to think of a theory, test it, see if it's right, see if it's wrong. And in that case, a lot of it was a mental theory. So I have to like kind of verbally communicate it. So a lot of times I will be mentally struggling with whatever I'm trying to figure out, right? In the same way I was doing in that section of the video when that comment was made. But I won't be saying it out loud because instead of struggling to figure out a certain thing, I'll be struggling to figure out what the person's talking about, if that makes sense. Or what the person's doing, and then I'll just watch them do a few other things, and then I'll get a better idea. But in this case, where it was like a shift in mentality, I had to figure that one out by asking him questions. And yeah, just jumped to my theory a bit too soon. But yeah, let's ask Mythical NZ. Mythical NZ. Hey, just curious. Are there score targets with this sheet? If so, let's see. Also, yeah, we're DMing Mythical NZ. Is NZ the guy who's 1 hour long Kovacs blood per day? Um, let's see. What do I want to do now? Wait, end the stream. Alright, bye chat. I'll see you all at, or just the one of you at 3, I think, is my next session. Goodbye.